guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. This is Jenny Love with Jenny Love Journals, and a very warm welcome. Today we're going to do another junk journaling tutorial for the journal that we are working on. So for those of you who are following along, you guys are probably really gonna enjoy this project. I'm really not sure if this project has been done before. I'm sure that the basic idea of this project has been done before, so I am not gonna claim it as my own, but it is something that I was just kind of playing around with today and kind of came up with. But anyways, I did do a prototype here, guys, and so this is not the actual project. We're gonna make that together, but this is just the prototype that I made, kind of just messing around. And as you can see, I used book pages to make the entire prototype, even though we will be using a book page today for our project. And of course, our project will be going inside of our Timeless Treasures journal that we're working on. For those of you who are following along using the Timeless Treasures journal kit from My Porch Prints, and for those of you who are following along using a different kit, or paper pad, scrapbook paper, whatever it is that you're using, all of the same, everything still applies. Obviously, it's just going to look a little different. But for those of you who are following along, we are going to be putting our project today in the first signature. And so let me just flip through so that you guys are familiar. This is the project that we did last week here, with the tag on the inside, and then flipping on the other side you have the pocket. And so again, this is going to be in our first signature. So right here on this background page, next to this page with the record player, this is where our project is going to be going today. So again, if you are using this specific kit, open up to this page and set this aside because we're not going to need it just yet. All right, so here, going through the prototype with you guys, I just want to show you that we have three interactive pockets going on here. So we have a top pocket here that we're going to be putting a large tag in, okay? And then we have a side pocket right here that we're going to be putting a journal card or two in. And then right here in the center, guys, we have us a cute little belly band that we're also going to be putting a little envelope. Actually, I'm going to put a little envelope in here with some goodies inside of that. All right, so you guys get the idea here with this prototype, and so we're going to make this project to go in our journal. So let's go ahead and do that, and let me tell you what you guys are going to need to gather up for this project. All right, guys, so let's start with our bases here. We have our book page, and this is just a standard hardcover size book page. Here, I can tell you right now it is 9 inches in length and 6 inches in width. So 9 and 6. So if you have a book page that's around this size, or just close to this size, doesn't have to be exactly this size, but something around this size would help, because it'll fit well in your journal or on your journal page when you see what we're going to be doing. All right, so here are our two pieces here. I've already cut them out, and this one is our centerpiece. That's going to be our side pocket here. And this is just a piece of paper that I cut out from the Timeless Treasures kit that I'm using. And then right here is our belly band. Again, I did cut this piece out of a piece of the paper, the journal paper that I have from the kit. And this is our belly band that's going to go right here in the center. First things first, guys, let's start with our base. And obviously you're going to need some decor. Like I have some seam binding to tie on the top of my ephemera. And I know I told you guys last week when we were going through the things that we were going to be using that I did order some more seam binding from My Scrap Cabin, and here it is. These are the two colors I told you that I thought would go best in the journal that we're working on, which is this pink and this peachy kind of color. Here, let me show you right here. Check out that, the roses, the pink there, and then the peach there. I mean, it's perfect. So they finally came in. Well, I can't say finally because it really didn't take much time at all. I think maybe a week, if that. And yeah, she's got the best seam binding, guys. Really, she does. And she does it all by hand. And sometimes she'll send you a free roll of seam binding if you order from her as a repeat customer. So always, always love my Scrap Cabins seam binding. So if you guys want some of this, head on over to Etsy and order you some. And of course, maybe a sentiment or two, and of course some die cuts. I got all my die cuts over here, guys. You guys know I love my die cuts. So whatever you want to use to decorate this once we are done putting it together, of course, go and gather all of that up. Of course, you're going to need your glue. I use Art Glitter Glue. You're going to need your Distress ink, some scissors, a bone folder. You might need a corner rounder and a circle punch so that we can punch the notch in to put our tag in the top. But if you don't have a circle punch, that's fine. You can use, use something that's rounded. And as I always say, you can trace around it and cut it out. That always works out. My hands are loaded over here. All right, so just the basics, guys, just the basics. Of course, some embellishing. Whatever is your favorite to embellish, go grab some. Also, guys, I'm going to be using this, but this is like a page edge decorator, I guess. It just cuts the page edges in a little decoration. I have several of these, but this is the one that I chose to use today. If you do not have something like this, that is fine. You can always just tear the edge of your pages to give it that grungy, old-fashioned style look. Or you can just grab a tear ruler. If you have a tear ruler with the different types of edges on the side, you can use something like that. Pinking shears, if you have some pinking shears, those would look cute, cutting along the edges, using that as well. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless if you do not have a punch, an edge punch. But this is the one that I'm going to be using today. So the first thing that we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take our book page and we're going to fold it in half. Make sure that we meet our two corners and then burnish. All right, and then we're going to turn it sideways. I think I want this to be my front. So what this is going to be, guys, is this is going to be our base, which is what you see right here. And this is what our tag is going to go in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open this up. And you're going to want to glue down this edge here and down at the bottom here, but not up here because we're going to leave that open so that we can slide our tag down in. So just a tiny, tiny bead of glue right on the edge. I know I just glooped a little bit up there, but it's okay. It's okay. And actually, for the bottom, I'm not going to stay too close to the edge. Well, yeah, I am, but I'm also going to bring it up because I don't want my tag to go all the way down in, because I want some of it to be sticking out the top. I know some of you prefer it to go all the way down in so that you just have a little bit peeking out of the top and then you can just grab it and pull. I personally like a good portion of my tag sticking out of the top so that you can see the design. All right, guys, so now that we've glued that, we have our pocket here for our tag, and I'm going to grab my circle punch and just punch a little notch in the top. All right, again, for those of you who don't have a circle punch, I mean, grab your glue bottle, put it here, trace around it, cut it out. There's many ways, excuse me, to get that notch in there. All right, now what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to ink around this. We're going to give it that old-timey, antique looking feel, because as you all know, that's what I love. And yes, my book page is frayed down at the bottom, and I don't mind that at all. I actually like the look of it because, again, it gives it that old, old-timey look. Excuse me, I'm really hoarse today. But the book page that I am using is from a very old book that I rescued. And I say rescued because these books, if somebody doesn't take them, they literally get thrown away and they get burned and things like that. So I know some people are offended that we use book pages for our projects, but why not turn those book pages into something gorgeous if they're just going to be destroyed anyways, right? Who agrees? Raise your hand if you agree, guys. I know a lot of you do. All right, guys, we are all inked up and ready to go. So that part is done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our pieces. So let's bring this piece in, and we're going to place this right on the front here. But what we're going to do first is we're going to grab our punch that I showed you guys earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and punch the top this side and the bottom, but not this side, because this side is where we're going to be sliding our journal cards in and out. So we don't want to snag it, you know, and tear it. So let me just move this aside here. And I did back this onto cardstock, so it's nice and thick. It'll be a nice durable pocket. Yeah, I just want to make sure that was the right side up. Okay, let's put this in here. I want to make sure my punch can handle going all the way through. There we go. Because I did line it with cardstock. You guys can see what that did there. Gave it a nice little lacy scalloped type edge. All right, and we're going to go across and get the whole top of that done. Again, it's because I lined it with cardstock, it is pretty, yeah, pretty tough, but it's getting through it. I'll tell you that. It is definitely going through. All right, here we go, guys. I did cut out a little bit because I did have to open up the tray down here to empty it out because it was pretty full and it was giving me a hard time. But we did get through and we got all 3 sides punched out. How adorable is that? I love that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick it down. Actually, let's ink it up. Let's ink it up. And I'm wondering if we should put a notch. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a notch in the side over here as well. There we go. Just so that it'll be easier to pull the journal cards in and out. I'm just lightly inking the edges of these scallop edges over here. That's what you would call it. They're like a lacy, scallopy edge. There we go. Okay. So now we can go ahead and glue this down onto here. How cute. And when we glue it down, we're going to glue the top, this side, and obviously leave this side open so that you can slide your journal cards and tags in and out. And we're just going to glue it right under the edge of where we punched, obviously, as you can see. I really stink at explaining things, so it's a good thing you can see what I'm doing. All right, nice thin bead of glue. Make sure we get this in the center. Is that about center? That looks about right. That's close enough. And we are using art glitter glue, so we don't really have a whole lot of time to be like, oh, is that the center? Or let me move it this way or that way, because no. Art glitter glue does not let you move anything. All right, guys, how adorable. Here is our side pocket. All right, now we're going to put on our belly band here that, again, I cut out of the kit. And the belly band is, let me see, up here about 3.5 inches long and about 1.5 inches wide. So 3.5, 1.5. All right, so what I want to do though is I want to round the corners on this belly band. So I'm going to go ahead and go with my 7mm side here, because we don't want the corners to be too large but not too small either. Okay, and let me go ahead and ink this up. We're not really going to need to do too much embellishing on this belly band. If you are using this kit while following along, as you can see, I mean, we can put a few things on there, but not much because there's a lot going on there, right? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to glue this. Let's make sure that it's a perfect size. Okay. Right in between our scalloped edges here, right down the center. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. All right, so for those of you who are familiar with belly bands, you don't glue around it, you just glue the top and the bottom. Just like that. You don't need a lot. And we gotta make sure it's in the center again. How freaking cute is that? Oh my God, it is so stinking cute. So I'm just gonna let this dry for just a few minutes and then we'll start embellishing. All right guys, I went and I grabbed a few decorative items that we're gonna use on here. So I grabbed a few buttons. I grabbed a sentiment. This sentiment did come with this specific kit. Again, there are sentiments that are mine if you prefer to use those as well with this kit, because there is a lot of black colors throughout this kit. So these sentiments do look really good in this kit. And again, these are on my Etsy or in my Etsy shop as a digital download. So you can print those out if you want those as well. But I did choose a sentiment from this kit. I have a die cut butterfly here and a couple of die cut flowers. So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna start by gluing these down. So I already know where I wanna put my butterfly. All right, guys, I'm gonna put this butterfly right up here without interrupting our pocket here and our belly band over here. Put it on a little bit of an angle there. How adorable. All right, so these two die cuts here, these are from the Wildflower, Tim Holtz Wildflower die cuts, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I'm trying to decide on whether or not I want to put these up here like this. I do apologize if you hear a cat meowing. That is my cat. My Bengal cat is out in the main house meowing. And she meows as if she's, you know, in heat, but she's fixed. So I don't understand why she still does it. But once in a while you do hear her going off out there. All right, do we want this at the top? Or I'm thinking the top. Or do we want to put one on the top and one on the bottom? I'm thinking both of them at the top. So we're going to layer them just like that. And then we're going to put some glue on these and glue them down. All right, there we go. I want to make sure that we don't, yes, okay, good. I wanted to make sure that that wasn't gluing our belly band down. So that goes right to the edge, and I'm okay with that because that actually looks really, really cute. Oh my goodness, adorable. All right, now we're going to take our sentiment here. As you can see, it does say beautiful, which is what your journal is going to be by the time we're done with it. For sure. And I'm really excited to see what you guys make as well. All right, we're going to ink that up, and then we're just going to glue it down. I'm going to put this right here down at the bottom, right in the center. Okay. And now our buttons, I mean, usually I would sew them on or just, you know, sew string into the button itself and glue it down. But today we're just going to go raw, guys, and we are just going to glue the button itself down. And if you're using art glitter glue, Bearly Arts glue, Fabri-Tac, something like that, you will not have to worry about your button going anywhere because it's gonna be glued down good. So if you prefer to sew your button in or sew thread into your button before gluing it down, by all means, please do so. It'll probably make it look even better if you did. But if you are pressed for time, like I am most times, you know, it's not required. You don't have to do that. But we're going to put those there. How stinking cute. Oh my gosh, how cute. All right, we're going to let this dry a little bit, and then we're going to come back and we are going to fill it up with all of our ephemera. Actually, first we're going to glue this down into our journal page and then fill it up with ephemera. All right, guys, here is the ephemera that I'm going to be using. So let me just go through it with you guys really quick. I did use pretty much every piece from the kit as far as the large tag for the top, which I made here. And I put some peach colored seam binding in there with a little pink eyelet. And then for the side pocket here, I have a journal card with a beige color eyelet, some pink seam binding, and then a little tag here with a yellow eyelet and some yellow seam binding. For the belly band, what I did is I took an envelope from the kit. So for those of you who are using this kit, this is the envelope that I used. Obviously, you have to assemble it yourself. It's super duper easy to do. If you're not using this kit and you are using a kit with with envelopes, feel free to use those. If you don't have envelopes already made to fold up and glue up and or even templates, it's totally fine. There are easy ways to make envelopes yourself. And actually, let me just show you really, really quick, a quick, simple, easy way to make your own envelopes that are just, just simple and cute. So we're just going to start with this here. This actually came in the kit and I cut it out because I needed something that was alongside of it earlier to put in this project. Okay, and literally, guys, literally, I know that most of you know this already, but for those of you who don't, so to make an envelope, if you want a long envelope, okay, which we'll do here, okay, so you're going to want to fold it up about 3/4 of the way, okay, and then you're going to want to take this top flap and just fold that down, okay, you're going to open it up. And you're going to glue here, here, and here. Or no, I'm sorry, not here, just here, just on your sides. I apologize, just on your sides. So that when you fold it up, this is glued in and here's your flap and you can put things down inside of it and then close your flap. Obviously, that's a really long envelope because of the piece of paper I'm using to show as a demonstration, but for like a regular square envelope or close to it, it's the same thing. You would fold 3/4 of the way up and then take your flap and fold that down, right? Like that. Glue on your sides, glue here and here. You know what? I'll actually just do it here to show you. And if it's not exactly straight, I do apologize. It's just a quick demonstration. Okay, we're just going to fold up to meet with the lines there. Make sure it's all smoothed out. Okay, and there you go. There's your envelope, and then you can embellish this side if you want. You can put a little notch here. Let me see if I can. No, I'm not going to be able to do that, but you can cut a little. You know what? Let me try this one. I don't know if it's going to fit. Let me just peel it back actually a little bit. Just a little bit, just to cut a notch. There we go. And you know what? The notch isn't even in the center, but it's okay. But you guys get the idea, right? So there would be an envelope. And again, you can embellish it. You can put things, down inside of it. So again, if you are not using a kit that has, pre-made envelopes already for you to assemble and glue, that is a very simple, easy, basic way to make your own envelope. There's many different ways to make many different envelopes, but that, in my opinion, is like probably the easiest and most basic and fastest way to make an envelope. All right, guys, so enough rambling here. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down into our journal. All right, so we're going to grab our first signature. We are still open to the page that we are going to glue it down on, which is this one. I'm actually going to pull it out because we have some stuff going on under here and it's creating some bulk. So let me move this out of the way and move this. Whoop. Don't you love how pages just love to stick to your mat for no reason? When you go to move them, they're like, nope, I ain't going nowhere. Alrighty, I did have to zoom out a little bit. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to be gluing this down right here. How cute is that? It matches this background so well. We're not going to need to stencil this or anything, this background, because it's just perfect, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to put glue all over the back of this. Unless you want this to be freestanding to where you can just take it out, you can do that. If you want this to add an additional pocket, you can just glue down this side and this side, and of course up here behind your notch, but not this side. You can leave this side open to have an additional pocket in there, okay? I'm not going to do that, but that is a choice, obviously. So we're just gonna put glue all over this sucker so we can get it glued down to our page. All right, guys, we want to put it not exactly in the center, like in the center of the page, but down a little bit, if you guys can see what I'm doing here, because we are going to be putting our tag down in there. So we want to make sure that we have some space up here for our tag, because you don't want your tag sticking out of the top. At least not too much anyway, unless that's something you prefer, you know. But yeah, let's make sure that's all down. All right, how freaking cute. Okay, let's get our ephemera in here. We got our large tag for the top. This is what I cut out of the kit that we're using, which is the Timeless Treasures. And you all know that I like to round the bottoms of my tags so that they slide down easier into, whoop, see, where are you going? They slide down easier into the pocket. Oh my God, how we could not have gotten that more perfect if we wanted to, as far as positioning this, because look at where the tag meets the top of the page. Oh my goodness, that's perfect. And y'all know I love it when my ribbons and lace and stuff stick out of the tops and the edges of my journal. That was perfect. Okay, so now we have a journal card here and a little tag here, both that came with the kit. And we're going to put these in here in this side pocket. Okay. And then again, this envelope, this is the envelope that I made using the kit. And in this envelope, I'm going to put some stickers in here. Some stickers that I've chosen that I think would look good, considering the colors in this journal, so that whoever ends up with this journal can embellish it even further with the stickers that are in here. And you know what? I didn't ink this, so I'm going to ink this up really quick. And yes, when I said whoever ends up with this journal can utilize the stickers I put in this envelope to further embellish if they wish, because this journal will be for sale once it is complete. And obviously it will be a first come, first serve, you know, to whoever is interested in purchasing it. But yeah, we'll discuss more about that when we are closer to getting the journal finished. So again, guys, I did put some stickers down, well, there we go, down into that envelope. I don't know if you guys can see down in there. And I'm just going to close it up. And then we're going to put this in our, or behind our belly band, like that. How adorable is that? Oh my goodness. I love that. It was simple, a very simple project, a gorgeous project, using just a book page, a few punches, and a little bit of embellishment. I mean, how stinking cute is that? This was a fun project, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you are, you know, following along and you also made this project and if you had fun making it. Always, as I always say, I would love to see the photos of the projects that you guys make following along. So if you guys want to share those with me, I would love to see them. So make sure that you guys send me an email. My email address is in the About section here on my channel. And you never know, if with your permission, I might just show some of your guys' projects on my community tab, because I love to share what you guys do too. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today and following along. I hope you guys had fun. And if you liked this video, make sure that you guys give it a great big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe, because we're going to have tutorials coming out twice a week, every Friday and every Sunday evening, Eastern Standard Time, between 6 and 8 p.m., more so aiming towards 6 p.m. So make sure that you guys keep an eye out for future videos, and I will see you guys real soon. Take care, everybody.